to the video lecture series of Grade 10 Chemistry. Today we will discuss about carbon and its compound, and the topic is the covalent bond formation in carbon compounds. Usually carbon always form a covalent bond. In the last video we already explained why carbon is not forming an ionic bond. Fine. Usually when an atom contributes equal number of valence electrons for sharing, such kind of atoms forms a covalent bond. A covalent bond means a chemical bond which is formed between two atoms by sharing equal number of valence electrons between the atoms. For example, if you are taking hydrogen molecule, hydrogen will have one electron in the valence shell. So hydrogen will share its one electron with the next hydrogen atom. Okay, so these two hydrogens forms a bond, means a force of attraction between the atoms. This force of attraction we say the bond, and it is represented by a single line in between the atoms. So this is the covalent bond between two hydrogen atoms. So what is a bond? A bond is actually a force of attraction that hold the two atoms together. When these atoms mutually shared one electron each other, these atoms will form a single bond. A single means one. They have shared one electron each other. So the bond formed is called a covalent bond. So what is a covalent bond? It's a chemical bond in which it is formed between two atoms by sharing equal number of valence electrons. Okay, so that these atoms usually attains the stable noble gas configuration. So what is the main point in a covalent bond you need to understand is that the atoms share only their valence electrons, not the inner electrons. Whenever you are trying to explain covalent bond formation, you need to think that we are considering only the valence electrons, not the inner shell electrons, because always the valence electron determine their valency. So we need to take into consideration of the valence electrons only. Now, if you move further, we can see that number of electrons contributed by each atom for electron sharing, that is called its covalency. So in this previous example, the hydrogen molecule, for its formation, each hydrogen atom has given one electron each other. So we say the covalency is 1. Okay, and the compound formed by sharing the electrons are known as covalent compounds. So our topic is actually carbon compound, and we are going to explain why carbon forms a covalent bond. So carbon, you already know, it is tetravalent. Tetra means 4 and valent means valency, which means the valency of carbon is 4. So carbon's electron configuration, when you write, K shell will have 2 electrons and L shell have 4 electrons. So we need to look into consideration of only the valence electron, which means we are going to explain the bond formation by using the 4 valence electrons. So which means carbon can use these 4 valence electrons for its bond formation with other elements. It can form bond with the carbon itself, and it can form bond with the other atoms in the periodic table. Okay, now so these are the 4 valence electrons of carbon. So carbon can share these 4 valence electrons, and it can form 4 bonds around the atom. So these are the 4 covalent bonds of carbon atom. For example, if I write one methane atom, CH4, okay, so carbon has 4 electrons in its valence shell. So I am representing by using dot, and hydrogen, it has only 1 electron. So I am representing by using cross. So this is hydrogen's 1 electron. I have taken 4 hydrogen atom because why, the The structure explains CH4. There are 4 hydrogen atoms in the structure. That's why I wrote 4 hydrogen atoms. So each hydrogen shares its 1 electron with the carbon atom. Okay, and forms a carbon hydrogen bond. So this is one of the covalent bond, and the second one is this one, and third electron bond, and the fourth one. So there are 4 carbon hydrogen bond forming in between carbon and hydrogen. So overall we can say carbon shares its 4 electrons, okay, with 4 hydrogen atoms and form 4 covalent bond. Similarly, carbon can form covalent bond with many other atoms. Okay, this is happening why? Because carbon is tetravalent. Okay, means its valency is 4. So for the formation of different compounds, carbon is using its 4 electrons and form many compounds. Okay, now another important point you need to note that carbon is tetrahedral. Tetrahedral means the 4 valencies of this carbon do not lie in one plane. These valencies are actually directed to or oriented towards the 4 corners of a regular tetrahedron, which means if you are drawing a tetrahedron, the valencies will be coming in this way. Carbon in the center, and this is the first valency, means the first bond, and the second valency means the second bond, third one, and this is the fourth one. All these 4 covalent bonds are directed towards the 4 corners of a regular tetrahedron. This is the tetrahedron. Okay, and the bond angle in between any 2 bond is actually 109 degree 109 degree 28 minutes, and this angle we say the tetrahedral angle. So the bond angle in between any 2 bond is actually 109 degree 28 minutes, and this is called the tetrahedral angle. So carbon is tetravalent, which means valence is 4. It can form bond with the 4 other atoms or itself with another carbon atom, and also it is tetrahedral. Tetrahedral means the 4 valencies are not directed towards the 4 valencies are directed towards the 4 corners of a regular tetrahedron. Okay, and the bond angle in between any 2 adjacent valencies is 109 degree 28 minutes. So this angle is called the tetrahedral angle.